Hello, good afternoon or morning, everyone. My name is not Dhania Yasmin. My name is Dinda. I am a previous participant for the collab from 2 years ago. I will be helping the current designers host this virtual tour of Bukan Tentang Sampah exhibition. Today, we are joined by Dries from the Dutch Design Foundation and Nassim from Erasmus House. Oh, Nassim, I will let Nassim in again. Hey, Nassim.
Hello.
Take it away, Nassim.
Yes. Hey. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining. My name is Nassim Abba. I'm the deputy head of the cultural department and the Erasmus House at the Embassy of the Netherlands in Jakarta. And I'm really honored and grateful for everyone joining today. Maybe before we start, it's good to give some context, some information about Erasmus House. So we are the only Dutch cultural center of the Netherlands, around the world. So in Jakarta, and we do a lot of work in the field of cultural exchange. So it's based on three pillars. First, it's to improve the relationship between the Netherlands and Indonesia by using the power of culture, but also the power of creative industries. And the second is that we try to support the Dutch cultural sector and the creative sector in the Netherlands worldwide. Hence, our work here in Indonesia. So I'm really happy that we have this exhibition this year. It's our first big exhibition in 2026. And what I love most about this exhibition is the fact of co-creation. It's the fact that Indonesian and Dutch designers came together and come up with this really great initiative about rethinking waste. It shows how even though world like so far apart from each other, thinking of global common challenges together can really bring a lot of creative thinking and solutions to problems we all encounter throughout the world. And this is exactly also what we try to encourage with our programming, is not only to bring Dutch artists or cultural entrepreneurs to Indonesia to showcase what's happening in the Netherlands, but to have this collaboration between creatives from both countries. So this exhibition is really truly, a great example of what we try to accomplish as Erasmus House, as a cultural department in Indonesia.
Yeah, thank you, Nassim, for the great introduction. So we move on to Dries from the Dutch Design Foundation.
Good afternoon and good morning to you all. I'm joining you here from Eindhoven, the Netherlands. I'm Dries van Wagenberg. I work for Dutch Design Foundation, an organization that has been active in the design field for 25 years. Maybe best known for the event we organized in October, Dutch Design Week, during which the entire year of the design world comes to us. But we are also very lucky to be able to collaborate in what we call collabs. These are projects where we organize that designers and what we call question holders, those can be governments and companies, work together. And in that sense, we also have the opportunity to sometimes work abroad. As Nassim explained, here together with the Indonesian and Dutch designers. And we as Dutch Design Foundation have been working to develop this program. And this is the third year or third lab that we have been collaborating on with Indonesian designers. And it's always been great because the intercultural collaboration that we've seen has been very strong. There has been a very big sense of the creative communities here from the Netherlands and from Indonesia working together, learning from each other. The program entails a visit from creatives from the Netherlands to Indonesia and vice versa, sharing a network with each other. And at the heart is together collaborating on social question. And this year we had the great opportunity to do that together with Wahoo, startup that's becoming a scale up in Indonesia that works on how to get rid of all the plastic trash. It's a question that's not only big in Indonesia, but in the Netherlands, there's also still all kind of initiatives that works on it. So we've been exploring together with the team of Mayra, Yasmin, Amelia, and Noud, who all have these different skill sets and backgrounds to see, okay, but what building pieces do we need? And then the team of Wahoo have brought in their knowledge, been talking to experts, and yeah, this exhibition shows what the result has been of about a year of very hard work. So we're very happy and very proud that we can take you on a tour of the exhibition and the project in this way. Of course, we thank everyone, including Erasmus Huis and the embassy, for making this happen. And I'm also very curious because I'm here in the Netherlands. I have seen images of the exhibition, but to get a real up-close tour, I'm looking forward to very much. So thank you for your attention.
Okay, so to start this tour, we have a question for everyone in the chat. Wait, we're trying to see if a poll works. Could you see a poll? We just want to know where everyone is coming from. So if you're inside Indonesia in Jakarta, or outside of Jakarta, or outside of Indonesia. And feel free to also share in the chat where you're coming from, because we are very interested in who's interested about waste from outside of the exhibition, because it's a very rare experience to do a virtual tour. Can I check to the designers if they are ready? I can also stall if you're not. Oh, hi. Your video is a bit sideways though. Mayra?
Hello.
Yes. Maybe to wait until the designers are ready. Could you maybe introduce yourself a bit?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Mayra. I'm calling in from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I'm 8 months pregnant, so therefore not able to travel to Indonesia for the opening. But it's been a really big pleasure to work on this really special project. I think a few things make it really special. Like Nassim said, the intercultural exchange, I think for me has been really beautifully put together. It's been very well thought through by all the partners and the Dutch Design Foundation. In a way, we really took inspiration from both countries in the design of this project. I think what struck me, what really inspired me in visiting Indonesia and working on the plastic waste issue there is the amount of social infrastructure that is there in Indonesia and how well organized communities actually are. So that's really what we took, what we got inspired by here in the Netherlands. Like we can really learn something from the way that communities organize in Indonesia and how easily you can start something up because every neighborhood has like an RT leader, an RA leader, and if you talk to those people, you can just start things up in the neighborhood. So that was really amazing to get to experiment like that and see how easily the community just gets together around initiatives like that. So it's been super exciting. I see that my counterparts are horizontal now. Or vertical, like the way they are supposed to be. So,
Are you ready, designers?
yes.
Yeah. Okay, I will add them to the spotlight. Thank you, Mayra.
All right, bye.
Thank you, Mayra. Okay, thank you everyone for joining us today. Good morning to everybody in the Netherlands and good afternoon for everybody right here in Indonesia. Wherever you are in the world, thank you for joining us on this virtual tour or exhibition. And I would like to thank Dinda, Dries, Nassim, Mayra already for the amazing introduction. So first of all, we're really happy and glad to be working together with Erasmushuis, the Dutch Embassy, the Dutch Design Foundation, and Wahoo, our partner, because it's been an amazing opportunity to start this project. And I would say we have an exhibition right now, but it's not the ending point right here. Apart from this exhibition, actually we do way more. We run an experiment right here in Jakarta, in Depok, which Ame will go into way more during this virtual tour. And we will briefly introduce the topic, but before we're going to do that, I think it's good to first introduce ourselves. As you just heard, we have a team of 2 Indonesian designers and of 2 Dutch designers. You already heard a little bit about Mayra, who has a background in psychology and design, which is very good and interesting towards our behaviors towards waste. I'm also from the Netherlands. My name is Noud Sleumer. I'm a social designer. I run a design studio, and the topics my projects are mainly about waste, recycling, and very complex systems of production and consuming, and how we can actually understand them and create a different behavior towards them. And I'm together here with Ame and Yasmin. Yasmin, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so hi everyone. My name is Dhania Yasmin. You can call me Yasmin. So I have background in architecture and urban design. So I'm very interested in community and also think like the waste issue is like a getaway topic to kind of improve our environment, because I think waste is a problem where everybody have a role in the society and can make an impact. So
yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Ade Amelia and you can call me Ame. I have background in interior architecture but also social development practice, and I have practicing the issues related to waste and urban as well. I've been working for like Lab Tanya and also Kota Tanpa Sampah before. For this project with Dutch Design Foundation, Erasmushuis, and also Wahoo, it's really intriguing me where we can also do more and elaborate our expertise from 2 Indonesian designers and 2 Dutch designers. How can we make also the waste issues become more social? That's how we kind of like start our exhibition.
So without further ado, I will let you into this introduction of our exhibition. And right here on the back, you can see this huge text. And I think the one main thing which stands out right here is Bukan Tentang Sampah, which is Bahasa Indonesia for it's not about waste. So we've been running this project about the topic of waste for 1 year. And we introduced our exhibition with the concept of it's not about waste, because I think that's what it really is about. We're not going to talk only about waste here today, but we want to go to a different language, because language is also very much related to waste and to our behavior towards waste. So I will go into this in a bit, but actually first I want to introduce you to these 2 images right here. I have to tell you, our exhibition is completely interactive. So I think we'll speak a little bit about it later also. But usually what we do, we have interactive installations in which people can actually participate. So as Yasmin just said, we all have a role in the waste management system, and we want to discover what all of our roles are. And we start with this Spot the Differences game, where you can see an image from the past and from the present. And there are a couple of big differences you can see there. Yes, please come a little bit closer. Thank you. So right here, we start with the past. And a big element which you can see right here are the banana trees with the banana leaves. Whereas in the present, we can see the big palm trees. This is very obvious. But on the other hand, when you will see the images, what you could see is a scenery, a setting of people having a picnic, both in the past and in the present. And maybe what the people eat is the same, so the product, but where they got the products from and how they brought them to the picnic are very different. Or as you can see, that people brought right here their food themselves from home, or they got it at a restaurant. Right here, you can see that the packaging in which the food is very different. So we can see a lot of plastic packaging, of course. Maybe it's ordered through Gojek or through a food seller and brought to the picnic. So what you can actually see in the background is that after this picnic, there happens, of course, a lot with this waste. And what we want to spot a light on is that the materials and the things we used in the past, of course, are very different. So maybe products as lamper were being made, which is used and made in a banana leaf. And afterwards, they could, of course, be composed. What you can see right here is also that natural organic stuff you can basically burn afterwards for fertilizer. We're not saying that burning is the best option, so it's not about only spotlighting past is better than the present. We want to show the differences because we think the discussion is a little bit more than black and white. If you go right here into the present, so what happens afterwards with the waste, you can see that it's also being piling up. But plastic is composing a little bit longer and needs a little bit more time, way more time actually, than the organic materials. And as you can see right here, the smoke of burning the waste got way darker. So this really black smoke is that you cannot smell right here, or actually good, because the smell of the smoke would also be very different than if you burn organic waste. So basically, these are some of the differences which we want to highlight. And afterwards, we invite people to open this box for the hint, or as you can read out, are you or we can show the same. So what we actually want to highlight with this is that often our behavior towards how we deal with the stuff we have and the waste we create is very much the same as how we dealt with our waste in the past. However, how we did it in the past, there were very good elements in there. But if we have different materials right now and we deal with it in the same way, it can create another impact and sometimes not a good one. If you think about it, PET bottles or MLP, multi-layer plastic, they have very different properties than banana leaves or coconut shell, which you could burn or throw in nature where we're composed. And I think this is an essential part to highlight that we actually right now have a lot of materials and waste which we create through a way of hyper-convenience, consumerism. If you order something right here, it's in a plastic bag and a plastic cup with plastic wrapping around it. So within 30 seconds, you create a lot of potential waste immediately. And it's about mass production of as well. We focus right now on how we produce the waste, but especially what we do afterwards with it, not only from an individual point of view, but also from a collective point of view. And this is why I want to go into this title again. It's not about waste, Bukan Tentang Sampah. So what we actually want to do is we want to create a mind shift with this exhibition. And we want to see the habit of throwing something away, a discarded, valueless material, into passing something on. So we want to pass on a valuable material to keep it in the loop. We think this kind of language plays an essential role. And actually with all the different installations and also with the experiment we run, this is one of our core principles, passing something on. So I think what we will do right now is we will go into my colleague Yasmin, who starts with explaining the interactive elements of this exhibition, and we'll go into the first installation. And I will see you right in a couple of minutes again.
So yeah, so the first thing, so because all the exhibit is interactive, so we have a guide for you right here. So maybe Dinda can also share. And So then here, the people can have like a board, a paper, and a pen, and then we'll add, we'll write down our journey, and then we'll see the result at the end. So yeah, let me take you to the first exhibit. So I guess if we start like talking about waste, usually we talk at the end, right? We talk what, like, after we throw it away, when it's already in the, in the landfill. Usually it's already when it's already too late. But now we want to invite people to talk about waste from the beginning, from the moment of consumption. So yeah, here, welcome to my Indomart, or like my store. So here we have a display of like everyday item that people can use every day. Maybe you guys can move closer over here. So yeah, on the cast phone, we can, write down like 6 items. We can choose 6 items that we normally use in a weekly basis. And also, so if you open, for example, like yesterday, my sister bought me a coffee in a plastic cup. So yeah. I produce items. So here you can see, all the material that left behind from my consumption. And there's also a point here. So all the people in the exhibition, they can go, and then they can also relate to their consumption. They can think about what they consume, and then they can write a point based on that. So I think Dinda have already a filled item that Dinda can share. So for example, coffee -15. I do an online shopping sometimes. So yeah, -10. Too bad. I also, have like a hygiene product. Buying from plastic, so it's -10. But yeah, other than that bad things, I bring my own tumbler today to the exhibition, so 0 points. So if you come closer, we also have like a thank you card, already bringing the bottle. And yeah, I have a shopping bag on my bag. So yeah, I also have 0 points. And yeah, today I eat at Erasmus house, and so I didn't have any package with me, so another 0 point. So yeah, I start with a -35. What we want people to learn is actually to reflect on their consumption before actually start thinking about, so where would my waste could go, and where should I pass it on? So yeah, let's continue again to Noud.
All right, thank you. So welcome in my house. We built a very big house as a centerpiece of the exhibition, and I will explain a little bit about why we did this. But to give you an introduction about why this is important, we have to give some background information about this project. Because it's quite interesting, we started our research, for example, also with visiting Bantar Gebang, the huge landfill in Bekasi, Jakarta. So Bantar Gebang, this landfill, is actually the most researched landfill on Earth, which is quite interesting, because something which is researched so much but still is there is kind of in a distance. And we started figuring out also that we were looking into Boemelen. So these are like informal waste collectors who get waste from the streets, separate it, or do it in Bantar Gebang on the landfill, and then in the end sell it to Lapak, middleman. We looked into how can we include those people, for example, in the system. That's actually what the question started with. So there have been a lot of initiatives that try to sometimes better the life of Boemelen or formalize their system. But it's also quite interesting that a lot of these initiatives didn't have a lot of longevity in maintaining themselves. And it's because a lot of these projects were based on funding. So there were very good initiatives and they worked very well. But after the project was done and the funding was done, we saw that a lot of these projects started ending, and then a bigger impact wasn't made. While we were researching, we have been doing research trips to a lot of communities and stakeholders right here in Jakarta and in Indonesia. We also went to the Netherlands to see how the recycling and separating waste system is going right there. And what we actually heard from everybody among all the stakeholders is that to separate your waste at the source is making the most impact furthermore down the whole system. So when you just consume all of these products, Jasmine just showed you, and you consume them, for example, in your household, then separating your waste in your household at the source where it's being created in a way, this creates the most impact. And it's important to make this very accessible for people. Because what we also saw is that separating waste and recycling often is being seen and also felt as quite of a pressure and an individual burden, because maybe you want to recycle or you want to separate your waste, you're doing it at home, you have this bag with plastic, and then what do you do with it? If there's no infrastructure to drop off your waste, you are highly motivated, but you have no idea where to bring it, and maybe that creates even more pressure. And this is a kind of thing that makes it quite hard for people to always participate in it. It's such an individual effort seen often, and it's quite, in contrast and quite paradoxical with the convenience that we actually buy all of those things or get sometimes for free that creates waste. So we wanted to set this household as the main message right here. And my colleague Am will go later into the community which we work together with, where we actually separate waste at households. And we interviewed all of those people to actually ask them, what's your motivation to separate waste? But also, what are the main challenges and your struggles when you separate the waste? And all of these messages we actually got into these bottles. So we printed a message in a bottle. All of these plastic bottles are actually used, and we got them from WOW, from their recycling warehouse. And what we heard a lot is that people are highly motivated, but that they don't often have the infrastructure or the logistics to drop somewhere where they can drop off their waste. Also, we saw that sometimes people are not always educated about it. But we thought also, what we discovered in our research is that education is very important. But if you're highly educated on how to separate your waste and you still don't have a place where you can drop off your waste, maybe the burden becomes even higher. And then another part, which is very important, is that we saw want to separate their waste, but maybe their household members or their community or their neighborhood is not taking a part, and it makes it even harder for them to do it by themselves. So there's a very individual part in separating waste, and that's why we think we've been looking into how we can make it a collective and a communal effort. So we've been looking into how we can socialize recycling. How can we make it actually very effortless, very accessible, but at the same time do it communally, so we create more impact in ways that it's being ecologically basically safe, and in a social way how it connects people. So it's about separating waste and connecting people. And we just spoke in the introduction about the difference between throwing something away without any thinking behind it and actively, very consciously thinking about passing valuable materials on. So, well, I will welcome you into my house. Please follow me. And I'll go here. So, if you don't separate your waste and you throw it out, and it might end up on the landfill, it's quite important to know that it could take up to 450 years before some plastic is being decomposed in a way. Whereas if we put it right here, we go that way right now to the other part. If we recycle it right here and we hand it in a recycling facility, like wow, there are drop-off points. Within 30 days, it can be basically used again. So we can immediately almost get it from the store. 30 days is a very big difference compared to 450 years. So I think that's why we go into this socialized recycling right now. We want to make this length of how long it takes shorter, but we want to keep the effort low. We want to keep it accessible. We think we can make a lot of impact with it in a very communal way. So I'm going to give the word to my colleague Ame, and she will go into the experiment we're running right now in Jakarta in the communities. Thank you.
Yeah, we are changing the tripod a bit since the video seems a bit shaky for some people. Please wait a bit. So Ame will move on to the community part of the project, where the designers worked with a community in Setubabakan. And I believe she is ready. Please continue, Ame.
Thank you, Linda. And here you can see all of the papers, and then it has also something written in it. So this is what we do with all of the visitors. We inviting all of you to also joining the survey. So the survey is about like, have you segregate your waste? Have you passed on your materials? We have like papers with different colors in it, signifying how the level are you on about your waste segregation initiatives. The red one is for the one who never do it before and interested to try. And the blue one is the one who are segregating by themselves in their home. And the third one who already have the system within the community.
Yeah, so for the audience, we also have a poll that you can participate in.
Yeah.
Please fill in for yourself, like how much waste have you separated in your household? The percentage is just how you feel. And for 0 to 25%, you are trying. For 25% to 50%, you separate the plastics. For 50 to 75%, you separate plastics and organics. And 70, this is 70 to 100, 75 to 100. Sorry for the last poll, almost all. So please fill that in. Ame, please continue.
Okay, so it's related to the survey that you do right now. We have the axis X and Y. For this part is the one who already segregate the waste, the percentage. For example, if you do the plastic segregation, it takes about like 10 to 20% of our total of waste in our home. So you can have like this like a position. And then the other thing for the Y, you can see, is it so easy, challenging, or like very difficult? So you need to position yourself which axis that you're on. Okay, so maybe if the survey already done by...
Yeah, the survey is done and the results are shared. So for this audience, it is 25% who are trying and only separate 0 to 25% of waste. 10% have separated their plastics. 20% have separated their plastics and organics. And 45% separate almost all. So really great audience.
Really good. Like 40% already do like 75 at least. Yeah. So it's really interesting that we also did it within the community twice. Like first of all, we did it in the bazaar within Greenpeace initiatives in the Less Waste picnic. And the second one, we did it in the community. We're like doing the experiment on. The interesting finding is like one who already do waste segregation with their community collectively, they find it really easy and have like more of waste separated, the percentage. But the one who kind of like not really doing it collectively or like doing it by themselves, they found it really hard within the very low percentage. So that's what we kind of like as a finding to continue on our initiatives. Oh yeah, so we talk about the cashbone. If you did it, you can get like +5, and then like if you do kind of like 15 to 50%, you get another 5 points. And if you do like 70 to 100%, you get 15 points. Yeah. So we come up also with the initiative that we do in the community called Kompak. Sendiri berdampak, bersama makin kompak. It says about like if we do it alone, it's still very impactful. But if we doing it together, it's transformative. So in this box, we got to see like the inspiration that we got from our previous journey to 4 of the community visits. In these communities, we found that like they have the waste segregation system, and at least 50% of the community has do the segregation, and sometimes like one of the community also do like 90% of them participate in the initiatives. And it's really important for us as a citizen, as a residents, to do the segregation. And the second one, we also, this is the video of our approach, the designer approach, how we think, like start with the Kompak. So Kompak, called the abbreviation of Kolaborasi Masyarakat Pilah Oper Kemasan. It's called a waste segregation system, as in collective action. We come up with 3 tools that we implemented in the community. The first one, we design the bag. The second one, we designing the support system of the WhatsApp group. And the third one, we also do it commonly with communal rewards as the motivation of all of the members.
So in the chat, I've shared a link to the video, and I will try to share a screen, but if it doesn't show up, so for the audience, you can check the video link in the chat. So
so this video is the thing that can share the interaction that we have. Are you successfully share the
Mas di pinggir kali. Kakak. Udah ngangkut lagi coba. Akhirnya warga RT sebelah ternyali. Siapa takut? Ayo.
So I hope everyone got to see that. If not, the link is in the chat. Please continue, Wame.
Okay, so we move to this part. We have like 2 colleges connected to each other. We see that if we collectively separated here, we are the household part, and we kind of like passing on here. It means like after we separate it at home, we bring it to the collection point, and after that, Wahoo will pick it up. The initiatives is also like motivating people to make their own waste system, to make like their own schedule, like where and when and how they do collection for recyclables materials. because we also work with Wahoo or Waste Hub. Wahoo do the collection for the plastics, but the community also decided to do collection for the cardboard and paper. So that's how we come up with two bags, the color, the plastic for the white and the cardboard for the green one. Yeah. So people kind of like using the bag to signaling their collective movement and also do it for the household. They can just like educate the family members because it's very distinctive compared to the trash bin that we always use at home. So it's easier for the family members to recognize, oh, I should bring my plastics here instead of like the usual trash bin. And then the interesting part is also when the members bring their bags out of their home to the collective points, the other neighbors also like kind of asking, oh, what are you wearing? Like, what is the inside? Or like, it looks fun. How can I join? That's becoming another campaign for the neighborhood to also joining in this passing on material initiatives. So yeah. So come on. We use it in the interactive exhibition also. To the photo booth. We also share the background with you guys. If you want to join to take photos, please use the backgrounds and we can also take photos together, okay?
Yeah.
Dita, can you check them out?
Yes, I have shared the photo. Let me figure out if anyone wants to turn on their camera and take a group photo, please do. If we sent the virtual background on the chat. Dries, you have to use the video. Can everyone download it?
Take a
If
group
not,
picture
I can
and
also
plus
send the
5.
Google Drive link.
Yeah, I get the +5 for joining the campaign and movement.
Yeah, if you want to earn 5 points. Wait, let me also share the Google Drive link in case it's harder to download there.
Maybe if you're not able to download the background, you can just put your camera on if that's possible, and then then that can screenshot us and take a picture
Yeah,
together.
I've sent the Google Drive link if anyone's having a hard time downloading from Zoom. Please download from there. Oh, Rizky, your background is vertical. Yeah. Okay.
So if you can
Oh,
share.
Mayra, you look very cozy. Okay, then we will take a picture.
Yeah, please, Linda, give us direction. We can see ourselves. So
Okay, so I'm using Boxalis's iMac in Erasmus House. I do not know how to share screen, but I think since this call is recorded, so you know how to screenshot Boxalis.
Command Shift 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And wait, and another one. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Boxalis just went in here.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. So I will give the spotlight back.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's still spotlight. Okay. Please continue.
Yeah. Maybe if you can share the link. We also have the fashionable runway from the community member who joining the compact. We have it here, like how people use the bag, how they interact within the WhatsApp group, and how they come up together, evaluate what they're inside, what the things or like materials that they kind of like collecting together. So if you see this part, we're still running the experiment and prototype within the community. So this is a growing kind of like numbers. So at this moment, there are like 38 households doing the waste segregation together with Compact. And it has been like more than 8 weeks. We collected around like 307 kilograms. We still have like more kind of like 4 or 5 collection points in the future. The last time is we did in 30 January 2026, and there'll be more dates for you to update. So, Thomas? Yeah. The communal goals is also like voted by the community members. So we always use the voting kind of system in the WhatsApp group. But here in the exhibition, we also invite you to kind of like vote. For the example, how about choose the communal rewards? So what are the rewards? It's like going to trips, do the have the public facilities, snacks for the events, and for charity. As for now, the public facility is like the highest number, I guess.
Yeah, so for the audience here, we can launch a poll to see how the audience would vote on a community reward. So what would you like as a reward for collecting waste? How would you like to enjoy the reward as a community? Would you prefer to go on a trip with the money you earn from collecting waste? Or would you like improvements on facilities? Or the easiest, food? Or would you like to donate the proceeds of your waste collection to a charity that the community is interested in?
Yeah, so I'll choose.
What will you choose, Mame?
Like, actually, I love trips, but then having a public facility is kind of like good idea. But I love snacks too. What should I choose?
Okay, so if we follow the poll of the community here, they chose facilities, Mame.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
so 40% chose facilities. Could you also input the second highest, trips?
Yeah, so I choose. It's one for the visitors who are joining the online. I choose it for you. Yay! Thank you so much for participating. Oh yeah. The interesting part also, maybe we can come up with this like a whole journey to this part. So we also wanted to like not only redefining the waste, but also redefining the waste collection point, because we gotta see like in different kind of like issues. One of the things is like, where do I collect my recyclables materials? People sometimes kind of like not wanting having the waste collection facilities close to their home because like it's dirty, it's like smells bad and so on. But we also here in this initiative redefining not the trash bin or like trash collection, but material storage. So we get the drop box from Wahoo to as a part of like a plastic storage within their social space. So we kind of like doing the the fun part. So the people kind of like designing what kind of the drop box that they will do if they have like experimenting with the social spaces and also the waste collection or like material collection facilities. Yeah. So after this, we will also go through the next part. Where do we collecting our plastics. And where did it go? Like after we collecting it and get picked up by Wahoo, what happened next?
Okay, so while
my
the
friend
camera is
continue the
moving,
journey.
I will share the screen to see the video of walkway stops if anyone has any difficulties to open it. Also, welcome to see it in the Google Drive link. In a moment, I will share.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I will share the video first. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Yes, so I shared the video. After that, Yasmin, please continue.
So yeah, we kind of move on to the another zone of the exhibition. So after we, separate the waste at our house, then collectively collecting it in our community. So then the next journey is Wahoo will pick it up and then sort it even more on their hubs, on their warehouse. So also like I think what I found very interesting is how the material actually like the plastic all being separated by hand by the community, and then also at the warehouse there's a worker there who mostly are women who also sorted by hand. So as you can see here, we have different kind of boxes. So this different kind of boxes have different kind of plastic. So a lot of our plastic actually have a different type of material, different type of impact to the environment. So for example, PET, the one that's are most likely are I think the highest price on the recycling item. Here we have like all the information of the recycling potential, but also the environmental damage it could make if it was not recycled. So we have the PET, we have the LDPE, usually like a plastic bag, and then we have the PP, which is all the plastic cup that we usually use, and then also the MLP. So we kind of show this because At the end, at the warehouse, we then see how much actually there's so many different type of plastic, and if we want to be able to, move it on to the factory to be recycled, it has to be sorted very meticulously. And then usually after all the plastic are, come together, they will press it. So this is the actual size. So one by one, kind of the bales that they created. I think you see it on the video, the big machine that's kind of pressed the plastic to be shipped into the factory. So come a bit closer. So here, and then like we have, for example, this MLP, which is actually, when you create MLP, the emission was not as high as PT, but it was really, really hard to recycle. That's why the potential of, environmental damage was bigger. But yeah, after Wahoo separated even more, press it, then they sell it into the recycling industry. So I guess it's also important to note, although our project is mostly about separation, but then how the cycle actually ends. So if you can move forward. So here is actually the prototype of the first kind of separation vessel, you might say. So it's like not a trash bag, not the trash can, because we want people to, put actually clean stuff in here. And this is actually, can you have a guess, like how many bottle cap actually, used to make this thing? Can everybody write it down in the chat? Maybe take a guess.
1,000.
1,000? Okay. Still not enough. I think you get the cap with 1,000. 25,000, still a bit more. No, not 100,000. So yeah, to make this, approximately you need like 4,500 bottle caps. And then I think it's very important to also kind of, in the beginning we consume something. So also like how we can support the recycling industry to also support recycling products. So by, buying a recycling product, you can actually create demand for things to get recycled even more, rather than, using virgin plastic to create a new material. So also in the exhibition, if you still remember the notes, so yeah, if you, have a recycled product at your home, you can have another point. Come even closer. And also this, it's kind of the size of the bale that Wahoo have. So one actually weigh around like 1 ton. So also what's important to point out in the recycling industry is like the worker itself, us, like the green job that kind of needed to, to help the system, to help the industry. So here we have we borrow this press machine from Wahoo Hub. So because plastic is very, very light, it's full of air, and it can be very expensive to transport if you transport it just as is. So Wahoo have this to press their plastic. So then the, people that come to the exhibition, they can actually try. So let me try. It's not as easy as it looks. So yeah. Let's see. 1, 2. My God. It's harder than I imagine. Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah.
You did great.
Yay! And I get another 10 points to do for doing that. Yeah, because like recycling work is hard work. And also another thing is, to help clean the environment that we already create damage. So we have a little fun game where we have this river, and people in the exhibition can actually fish a bottle from the river and then put it on our bag, not the waste bin. Oh no! Too bad. The winner. But yeah, so that's kind of the end of the journey. This is the last zone, so we call it like the afterlife of throwing away. So all the waste that are not recycled or like chosen not to get separated will end up in the landfill. So here we have kind of like a miniature landfill, and as you can see, there's can you come closer a bit, maybe? So yeah, for scale, we have a bit, a row of houses. So right now, the Bantar Gebang is actually 16-story tall. So you can imagine how it's sit, around that neighborhood. And then here we invite, all the guests to actually fill out the form and then subtotal the score that they have. So maybe Dinda will share it in the chat. And then based on the score, we kind of say like, how they did in their, consumption and recycling journey. So for people that have like positive point, we really appreciate them for already like making impact, not just from a very like mindful consumption, but also for, doing all the action that it's needed to keep our environmental clean. And for those who still have like -25 to 0 point, we say to them, you have to keep it up, like do more. Maybe you can do more mindful consumption, or you can join more activity, or be active in your community and help recycling waste. And for the one who have like more than -25, we say let's move together. Because so as you can see, there's this, we also create this projection, because if you don't move now it's like, already like an emergency. If you don't move now, then this is like the future. Like, we don't have any space left. Like if we pile up more stuff, it will cover all the houses that are in the neighborhood. So I guess that's kind of like the journey that we want people to get throughout the exhibition, start from their consumption, how they separate, and then, the result at the end. And then we also have a fun little station where you can stamp your result in your kasbon. So this is a new one, but so you can stamp it out, and then people can share their, their result, and also write down some notes that they get from the exhibition. So we have quite a lot of participants already joining, go through all the exhibition and write their result, some good, some bad. But I guess, it's important to be transparency, and also for everybody to join, because the waste issue is everybody issue. We live in one place. We need everybody to do their part and make different. And I think everybody can have a difference here, can make a difference here. So I guess that's all from the exhibition. Do you guys have maybe words you want to share?
You got me off track. I think what is I should just conclude. I think the communal effort is the most important. So we can see that we all have a place and within the system. And I think it's not about like seeing like, are we doing good, are we doing bad? A lot of elements towards our behavior are like very much not in our control as an individual. So when you communally stand together, I think we can like have more power in that way together. The Indonesian word swadaya is I think, do I pronounce it right?
Yeah.
So doing things together, communally do it together. Kind of maybe it translates a little bit to bottom up, but I think this word has made more impact. So it's like about creating centralized system, of course, like getting things from top, but also doing it ourselves from bottom and meeting somewhere in the middle. I think that's a very important part of it.
Yeah, for me, we always oversee the technology to like vanishing the waste, but we never kind of like move through what makes waste is waste, and like I think the social part is also important to like educating people to bring the initiatives together, and also the last part is to make our own system that like contextually fitting in our neighborhoods. I think that's the most also important. So we also wanted to like encourage people to invest more in the social infrastructure of the waste collection system.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's all for us.
that's really great. You did really well on the tour, considering everything. Very perfect.
Please
So,
come.
Yeah,
now,
yeah. So the exhibition is until May, 2nd of May. So if you may have also already a travel plan to Jakarta, please visit Erasmus House. And if you don't have a plan yet, so maybe you could plan a trip to Jakarta. It's really fun, right now.
It is. It's very good.
Yeah.
I think what we should also do is share the QR code because
Yeah.
our exhibition is not just the end result; it's also a vehicle to get along other communities within our experiment. So, are you within a community that wants to socialize separating waste and invest in infrastructure, in system, in community?
could you show the QR again?
Of course.
Please,
So we're more than happy
please there.
for people to reach out to us, and let's see if we can do something together.
Yeah, or maybe we can also share in the email.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you like to take some questions right now?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, maybe we can have a seat.
Everyone is complimenting you on the chat. If
Thank
anyone
you.
wishes to ask a question, please raise your hand or type it in the chat.
I'll take another seat.
Or there was a question about how the bags were made.
How the bags were being made?
How
Yes,
the bag-
the
Okay.
the
Oh, the
bags,
compact
the compact bags.
Okay. So yeah, I think the bag is very exciting for us to, as a designer, to discuss, what kind of bag or what kind of vessel that we want to create, to put our material in. We want to make something that's different, so you kind of you don't treat it the same as your regular, waste bag. So we designed two things. So we designed the holder, which is the one that creates from the plastic cap. But then we also want to have the inside where you can store all the waste. So this is actually from the material wave plastic. So from wave plastic. So what we do is we just buy this, so it's readily available, and then we stamp, because what Ame explained already earlier, it's kind of give signal, okay, what it is. Yeah, I heard someone post it in the WhatsApp group and oh, what it is, because it's also something new, right? Yeah, it doesn't look like a trash bag.
Oh,
And
what
then
is
another
the bag made of?
So karung, it's
Wo-
woven plastic.
Woven plastic.
Woven plastic.
Yeah, it's typically used for rice sacks, if I'm not mistaken.
So rice sacks and usually it's very, I think for
Light.
construction it's very light. So you cannot put very heavy stuff because it will break. So it's actually perfect for plastic waste.
plastics.
Yeah. And we also sew in some handle, so then people can bring and pose with the bag and bring it to the hub.
I think also what we looked into is how can we make separating waste fashionable in a way. So we started looking into how can we create not a pretty ugly trash bag as the black bag which we see, for example, in the Netherlands often. But how can it signal something very different? So I think we're still working on extra versions and newer versions, how we can actually still make the signaling of I'm part of a movement even broader.
Yeah. So Elizabeth, who asked the question, said it's very cool that it's made out of rice sacks. And you found a vendor to print the logos on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I have a question for Noud from Risky. How many bottles are behind you?
Oh, good question. I don't know it out of my head, to be honest. I don't know. So how many did we get from WOW? Do you remember? It was in...
So like for the green part is like around like 300.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the blue one is
No, so the green part is like 100.
Ah.
The blue part is actually
Like
around 300.
300, yeah.
Yeah.
So around approximately 400 bottles
Yeah,
together.
400 to 500.
So these are all handed in at WOW's waste hubs. And then they got to the warehouse. They got, as you can probably just see right there, separated, sorted out, cleaned. So they have been going through the whole process already. So actually they look like brand new, to be honest, but they're already used.
Yeah.
After the exhibition, they will go back into the WOW warehouse.
And get recycled. So yeah.
So you kind of like lend who lending us the plastic.
The material.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for all three of you, but I cannot find who asked it. What was the difficulty that you faced when you started this project, or maybe after you've gone through it for already a year now? What do you feel was most difficult during this process?
I think what is it's I think it's the most difficult, and it's something we have taken the most time for, is finding the question behind the question. So to actually see, like, we started with Poomalung, we started with waste, but what is the real part we can make like the most impact and use our capabilities as designers and our team the most for? I think that's a part which we took a good amount of time for, because it will in the end influence our project till now, but also the future in that way. So I would say that's a part which has been challenging to really find out what the underlying challenges and opportunities within the question and the research we were doing were. Yeah.
Maybe you want to share on the ground stuff?
So for me, like there's also a whole waste system is like problematic, I could say. So it kind of like hard to like finding the position at first, same it now, but then also find it's very challenging when we trying to implementing into the community. We trying to like finding even finding the name is kind of like difficult, but then when we move through the grassroots, the challenging part is like finding the one who also inspiring the other neighbors. I think to find the pioneers of the pioneer is very challenging. And also I challenge myself to do the prototype within my own neighbors. So it's located in RT 11 RW 6 Serengseng Sawah, Jagakarsa, Jakarta Selatan. So I only like 5 minutes away from the pioneers. I live with theirs, and then also some of my the participants is like my inspiration. I live with them like for a whole years. So finding myself, like how I positioning myself within this project and also like within the initiatives is very challenging. And yeah, there are dynamics and politics within the social like infrastructure. But then we need more initiatives like this to like encouraging more people to do the transformative waste system.
I think I think these are very good points. I think what another fun, complex challenge is that we also have to learn to work together. So in the beginning, we're all from very different design backgrounds. So we did research, did field research, theory research, and then we said, okay, today we're going to map everything out. And after 30 minutes, we came later back to each other, and we all understood something completely different. So we all did very random things to each other. So actually, this is like a challenging thing, but a very enriching thing also at the same time, because we learn a lot from each other, I would say. And then about waste, what is very challenging, there's just a lot of assumptions we make about it also on a daily basis, also towards people who are related within the waste management system. There are a lot of stigmas around it. So I think that's important to always keep remembering yourself of, and it can be depending on what angle you have towards it and what lens you focus it on, like it can be quite depressing as well. So it's always about seeing the longevity goal you want to have. Always you need to have that in the back of your mind why you want to work on this, and to keep that core goal always there is can be challenged by different stakeholders, by things you figure out, and it's something we have to keep ourselves aware of, and I think we did very well until now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so we have a very important question from Dries. How did the people who are part of the experiment experience the exhibition? I think we also involved them since the opening until the end, they will be very involved. Could you maybe tell a bit of that, Bame?
Okay. So like from the beginning, through the prototype, like timeline, we also kind of like since beginning we also not only do the prototype but also do the exhibition, and throughout the prototyping we also do make some contents for the exhibition as well, and they're kind of like very excited to see themselves within the exhibition. So we invited the community pioneers to the opening of the exhibition. Not only for the women group, but also we trying to make young group participate within the exhibition as the gallery sitters. So if you joining the exhibition on Saturdays, you will also can like talking with the young group. They did the waste reduction challenge for like 7 days, and very enriching experiences for them as well. You can talk with them and like have conversation. They will be here every Saturday. And also in the end of the April, the middle of April, mid-April, we will inviting the members of the community to the exhibition, and then also have discussion and reflection about how the compact initiatives going.
Yeah, so not just the moms who joined the experiment, but also the young people in the neighborhood who are part of the Karang Taruna will be exhibition guides. I have it's a question that's in everyone's head from Timothy. Is this project going to join with local government in Indonesia or not?
You mean like if you're also involving them? Yeah. So like the very beginning, we always do this kind of like procedure to like talking with the RT, RW, and also kelurahan. So like the sub-district to the neighborhoods group, and also like a bigger neighborhoods group. That's always the procedure. And then every week we have the event within the community. There is also representative from the Kecamatan, Environment Department of Kecamatan Jagakarsa. 2 of them is like Mas Jai and Mas Arif. Also like involving them to like advising us the initiative to what kind of the projects that will going on for like a long time, how to sustainably doing the process. And the last event we did with environmental government of Jakarta, the province, they joining us to distributing the bags to a whole like RT 11. I think it's very fascinating because the stigma within the environmental department of the province. They are very busy. They have a lot of places to take care of. But then on Sunday morning, we invite them. They're coming. So I think that's the most
Good start.
good start. Yeah, it has been starting for 10 weeks for the prototypes. And in the exhibition, there are also the representative from Tangerang Selatan Environmental Department. They are facing the very urgent issues about waste collection system. They wanna learn more with us within the compact emissions.
Yeah, and also yesterday we have Pa Airway. So someone from the airway actually come and go through the exhibition. And then I think I also have a call okay, can my airway actually can I make them come here and learn about this? So I think we
Pa RW di Bandung.
Yeah, Pa RW di Bandung, but there's also another. So they're
another
yeah, can I invite my airway or my ete to come? So we're really excited also to have the exhibition for more ete and airway kind of learn more about the issue and maybe also learn how to approach it, because I think it makes a big difference how you approach the issue, and we try to create a new perspective or create a new way to can understand easily the issue and also give kind of the good guideline how to tackle the issue of waste separation.
Yeah, so is it good to say that the government in local levels have been involved in observing and in supporting the project, but we are still in the beginnings of forming of sustainable and open partnerships. So if anyone watching is from the government, also okay to reach out to see how the project will continue, because we are currently in one community, but the future could be a lot more. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So Elizabeth is asking again, which groups of communities are you targeting for this exhibition? Are you specifically targeting people who don't separate waste or maybe don't have the logistics to separate waste?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting to also inviting people who are not doing it before and also doing it, but then very struggling within their community.
So yeah, I guess it's open for everybody because we kind of want to we design it to be interactive, so people can who have separated their waste or who hasn't separated their waste, they can go through the exhibition and relate more to the system. But yeah, I think what we want or what we especially invite is people community leader and also from the government to kind of also present the project compact. So then the project could grow to more than one community. So all the community leader, yeah. But yeah, we hope everybody could come and kind of relate to the exhibition, because this is a little of anecdote. So my dad come to the exhibition. He knows nothing about waste, I guess. But then I was so happy because after the exhibition, he can see things differently and actually do things differently at home. So I guess that's why I think everybody. I hope everybody can come and enjoy and have something or gain something from it.
I think what's also good to add is you can only infiltrate in Jakarta's logistic system.
Yeah, that's true.
One by one. So if communities are very close to a waste stop of Wahoo or drop-off points, it's more easier, right? In terms of logistics also. Yeah. So it can spread like a oil in a positive way this time. So yeah.
Okay. I have a question that I think might be better directed to Marlene from Wahoo. Are you here? Or would you happen to know the answer? So Evie in the chat is asking, how does Wahoo fund this effort? Do the workers in the processing facility work on a voluntary basis, or do they get paid for it? I think Marlene is maybe not connected to his sound. Do the designers know?
Can you repeat the question?
Do workers in the processing facility work on a voluntary basis, or do they get paid? How is Wahoo funding this effort?
They get paid. There are actual jobs. So Wahoo is has investors as well, and they have deals, sponsorship deals. But I don't feel completely comfortable with answering all the questions about Wahoo because I don't.
Yeah, maybe if you have extra questions directed to Wahoo, they also have an Instagram account at Wahoo Waste Hubs.
Yeah. But Wahoo has been also very supportive, of us. We, throughout this project, we went on meeting with them, kind of discussing, what could work, help us set up in the community, putting a drop box, and also picking it up every 2 weeks. So after this exhibition, we also, would love to continue this and, grow the project even bigger with them.
And and also the added point from the community, they always say that fortunately Wahoo received any kind of plastics. So they also paid within the very good numbers. So for example, they can send the MLPs, bubble wrap, like straws, and also the kresek to the Wahoo facilities because they're kind of like committed to do all of the plastics. And it has different like numbers or like a price for that. You can also check within the Wahoo app. But then as for now, Wahoo like widely spread in Bandung, starting also in Tangerang, and starting also in Bekasi.
Okay, so we are exactly 4:30, but I think we can take one more question. One more question.
I think what's really cool is that how Wahoo has been helping us within this experiment till now, because you have to see that the margins on plastic, recycling plastic, are extremely low if you have a like separating waste or recycling company. So actually, if you do it like very high volume, then it starts to pay a little bit back. So running this experiment and them having to hire like a truck and like people, and it's like not that they earn money through this experiment right now, but they really value the lessons we researched together with them. So they also really do it out of their way of doing impact. So I think that's a really good opportunity we got there. Yeah.
Yeah, so the last question we have, it could be also your last words to close this event today. So considering that in Jakarta or in Indonesia as a whole, plastic waste sorting is still not a common habit. We still have a lot of homework to do around the issue of waste, and there are people who are not interested in sorting waste. How do you feel that you can better harmonize community-led waste sorting initiatives with existing government infrastructure to ensure that what you're doing now is seamlessly integrated with the recycling process? So how do you see community? How do you see how individuals can participate? How do you see how the government can also participate? Last words to close this event.
So maybe I'll start. So I think what's important for an individual that hasn't separated, I think for them, of course, one, education is important, but the second one, system is very important, because for very not motivated people, when you put a facility and you put a system in place, which is in the neighborhood, they're more likely to join and they're more likely to participate. But then how we kind of create the system, that's why we kind of, made this, compact program. So by, connecting to this, highly motivated, like local leader, and have them and maybe their, close friend or like close socializing community get together to start become the initiator, becoming the first batch of people who, try out the program in their community, proving that, separating is actually possible and it's actually really important, and then build up the system. Then the kind of like the early adopter, then the late adopter can plug into that system. So yeah, that's my take, and then kind of like how we also approach the prototype and the project.
For me, because like we've been like associate the complex waste system within like several kind of reasons. The first one is the trust and transparency. People sometimes do the waste segregation, but then like after they did it get mixed again. That was a lot of like people also written their challenges. So I think it's possible. First trying to like have that transparency, like where does it go, what happened after we collected it, and then like not separate it, not mix it again after it being collected. That's what we did with the community. The trust, not only the trust when we like start like telling people to inform, like this is what Wahoo did, and then like this is what where your plastic goes after them pick it up. But not only that, the technical kind of like information, but also trust within the neighbors. That's also important because sometimes people cannot going to the collection point, but then trust their neighbors enough to like, can you pick my recyclables? And also it creates empathy because waste is also about empathy. And the others is like proximity and accessibility. If it's not close or like near from your house, it's not happening. If it's not accessible, it's not happening. So that's my take.
I think great takes. So yeah, what I can add up on there, because I agree very much with those. I think those are very much core of what we've been talking about. I think what we also saw is that every community is so context driven. So if you create like a centralized kind of waste management system, you still have to like the different context within there that you have to take into consideration. I think that's a big challenge, but a very important one. So yeah, it's about bringing like the community efforts and the bottom-up efforts closer to the centralized waste management system and vice versa. So bringing the centralized waste management system also closer to the communities. And I think when we meet like in the middle, I think that's the hotspot. So yeah.
I see Dries has unmuted. Would you also like to say a few words?
Yeah, before we end and leave, very big compliment to you as design team for making this happen, and seeing the exhibition kind of in person makes it really nice to experience and see how much you've done in just a year. So for everyone here, this team has not only been working on this exhibition that you see, but really thinking out, researching and implementing a system, and also doing an experiment. So yeah, our hope is we can find a forum to keep this running for the next couple of time. And I think there's so much potential in it. And actually, I had a little chat with Mayra earlier, and we saw this idea of this map of Jakarta with maybe a million little spots of potential communities with drop-off points. And yeah, hope we can bring this somewhere further toward that goal. So if there's also people in this tour pass it on, invite people to come here, to go here, share it. I think it's extremely rich to visit as exhibition and be aware of as project.
Hey, also giving a chance to Mayra. Would you like to say some words?
I just wanted to say thanks for the team. I miss you all. You did a great job on the tour. Thank you to also Dries, like the work, how you facilitated with Dutch Design Foundation, like all these different key partners. It's like most wicked problems, they have many different stakeholders. And I think what was really special about this project is that everyone was so generous in sharing knowledge and collaborating and trying to think of this in a different way. So it's been a really big pleasure, and thank you for the crowd also for the really thoughtful and smart questions that were asked. So it was really nice to jump out of the baby bubble for a second and see how we can make this planet a little bit nicer for who's pass that material on in a mindful way. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for joining today. Sorry we ran a little late. This is the end of the virtual tour.
We can only thank Wahoo, the Design Foundation, the Dutch Embassy, Erasmushuis, and all communities, people we've been visiting, talking to. I think this is basically a summary of all the input we got, and we can only thank everybody for that. And the audience also.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening in. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, I guess bye-bye.
Bye.
Selamat malam.
Sore. Selamat
Sore.
pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Halo. Bye.
Yeah, selamat sore for Indonesian, selamat pagi for those in the Netherlands, and for everyone else, thank you also for joining.
Okay, bye all. Have a good one. Thanks again.
Bye, Dries.
Ja.
Bye.
Zie je, Mira?